What's up, everybody? Welcome to Move the Sticks. DJ, Bucky, Rhett with you. Buck, Rhett is kept the streak alive. I think this is.
We're just gonna start out with that. We're just gonna start
with the Rock Indiana hat for day number, I don't know, 67 straight days he's worn that hat.
Stick with what works, baby. Stick with what works.
How confident are you this week, by the way?
Look, it's gonna be a tough one, no question. But I am supremely confident because, look, it's about the sum of the parts, okay? It's not about we got to lead over here, we got to lead over here. It's about we got an elite team. We have the best cohesive team in the conference. That counts for something.
I cannot believe. I would think that after our conversation with Kirk Signetti that you would be full of all kinds of vigor, that you would make a bold proclamation that this is the time we're about to do it, guarantee it. This and that,
absolutely, we're gonna get it done.
No. I don't want you. You're backing into it. Like he was very bold when he went to an assembly hall and talk about we're on our way, we're bringing it back, whatever. I appreciate it. I don't feel like you're meeting him where his energy has been.
Not been just been saying it all year long. Why make my narrative any different now? I mean, we are deserving of the respect that no one is giving us.
I'll be honest with you. If you'd have said before this season started that one of the three of us would have their alma mater in the 12-team playoff,
I would have thought it would be. I would think my team.
I would have thought it would at least been. It would have been Bucky and myself having a debate on whether we're going to be kind of the group of 5 team. Maybe Bucky's can wrangle the very downtrodden ACC. Nope, that ain't happening. It's Indiana Hoosiers are undefeated. That's just insane, man. Just absolutely insane.
Do you know how uncontrollable he will be?
Oh, I know.
If they have to, do you like? Can you just?
We're going, baby. I mean, look, they're in the playoffs.
You know what I'm.
I mean, you pretty much. If you lose this game, can you still be in the You'll still be in the conference championship?
They're in the playoffs.
Right? No. Ohio State and Oregon would virtually go.
Oh,
that works for them. That guarantees that they're in the thing. So, Red, here's what I'm gonna do because I know you're gonna be out of control. I'm gonna block you from Friday to Monday. So I don't have to do it. So just in case you win, I'm gonna block you so I don't have to see the fireworks.
That's tough.
And all that. We'll pick it back up on Monday because if you win, it's gonna be out of control.
Yeah. Well, look, winning is what I do, as you guys will see in the rookie draft standings. Later.
It's been your year. It is all coming up roses for Rhett this year. All right, it's time for the lead block presented by T-Mobile for Business. Football needs a network willing to go the extra yard. So do you. Go further with T-Mobile for Business. A couple pieces of news I want to get to here. We have the Giants have moved on from Daniel Jones. Looks like that era is going to be over. He is going to be the third quarterback for them. We'll get to that in a minute. But right as we're getting ready to go here, maybe about an hour or so before we recorded, the New York Jets have let go of Joe Douglas. So Joe Douglas has been fired as a general manager of the New York Jets. A month plus after Robert Saleh had been let go. So it is wholesale changes there in New York. Buck, I'll start with you. We'll kind of go with the what went wrong discussion here, and we'll attack this from some different angles here. Go ahead.
I would say I feel like that New York is a very, very hard place to win because ownership and everything around ownership is always in the way. I don't know if you can fully build out a team that you believe that you have to build without ownership weighing in and allowing you to do your thing. I never got the sense that Joe D was building the team in the image that he knows a team has to be built. It seemed like New York didn't have the patience to do the homegrown draft and develop process, but they brought in older players, which also makes it very, very hard to sustain success in those things. And when you look at the draft picks, I think you can say successfully, they did have some nice pieces that were drafted that emerged as blue chip talents. But I just don't think it mixed in terms of the alignment between we're going to draft, develop, and it takes time to build that kind of product in that city that doesn't have a lot of patience for a team developing.
Yeah, as strange as it is, I mean, you go back to look at the origins of this, right? I think with every, I don't know, I don't want to give it the blanket statement, but with most personnel executive moving on, firing, whatever, you find a failed quarterback somewhere.
100%.
Right. Mm-hmm. And
if not
more. Yeah. You go back to the 2020 season, right? Those 2 wins at the end of the regular season in which the Jets were on their way to the number 1 overall pick. Look, they end up winning 2 games against the Browns and the Rams at the end of that season, that lost season, and they moved from 1 to 2. And look, I think they were, would have taken Trevor Lawrence. I don't think there's any question about that. There's some question about whether that's working in Jacksonville too. Now, I mean, like, not to say that would have been a sure thing.
But hold on, just right there, because I want to pin in that for a second. I want to ask you a question, Rhett. I was just thinking about this. Would you rather be if you're a prospective coach, and would you rather have no Zach Wilson with the Jets, or Trevor and the financial commitment to Trevor in Jacksonville as your options? Would you rather have the deck cleared, or would you rather have you are tied and committed to Trevor going forward? I would just think about it's interesting.
Yeah, I think it is. I think I would still rather, devil you know, devil you don't. I'd rather be in the position that the Jaguars are in right now, as opposed to where the Jets are going to be in the quarterback desert. For how long? I think that's kind of where I would sit. But again, situations are different. Play caller, playmaker, that whole thing. Protection, like, how does that all end up if Trevor is the quarterback of the Jets? We don't know. Could be in the same situation, but ultimately the Zach Wilson failure led them down the road of Aaron Rodgers, which turned into a catastrophic failure in New York, and which is now, we're talking about regime change once again.
Yeah, they took big swings and it didn't work. Those are 2 big quarterback swings, one at the top of the draft, the other one in free agency. I'm with you. I posed that question, but I would still, Trevor, warts and all, I've seen Trevor play at a playoff caliber level.
Yes.
He has not recently. That contract is a little cumbersome there, but I would prefer that. Now, the only thing I will say on the Jets side of things, and Buck, I want you to hit that as well. But the thing I would say, you took swings at quarterback. If we go back to that quarterback class, this is the only thing I'll say. If you have the first pick, you take Trevor. I think you hit that, Rhett, but you don't have the first pick. I still don't have a problem with taking a big swing. And I think, and I would challenge somebody to tell me that Zach Wilson wasn't the most gifted thrower. Now, we're playing quarterback is a different conversation, but just the most gifted thrower, the highest ceiling, the highest upside of those guys because of what he showed, how he could throw a football. It was a big swing. It was a high risk, high reward pick. It bombed. It did not work out. The question I have is, well,
none of them
who would you rather had them take?
Trey Lance, Mac Jones.
All those other guys are not
Fields.
even on those teams anymore. None of those guys. So and then on the other side of it, it's like, okay, well, we whiffed on this one. We got to go try and find a veteran. I know he's long on the tooth, but the guy's won 4 MVPs in Aaron Rodgers. I have more of a problem with trying to cater to Rodgers in terms of the offensive coordinator and bringing in some of these older pieces and his buddies and literally kind of giving over the organization to him. That's just my personal thing. But that was another big swing too. So neither one of them worked out, Buck. But at some point in time, you got to take your shots. They took their shots and it didn't work.
Yeah. They did, but my question is not even not even answering that stuff, because look, having watched Mac Jones twice in person in Jacksonville, I don't know if that would have worked anywhere. The fact that he was able to put the performance that he put together in New England would be a surprise based on the player that I've seen work out. Justin Fields doesn't work in Chicago. Trey Lance bombs in San Francisco. So Zach Wilson is the only other one. The only one who has partially worked has been Trevor Lawrence. So how can you knock that? And I think and
he was off the board when they picked.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I think we on the outside have to be comfortable with teams taking swings at quarterbacks and it failing. I know we'd like to think that because you take someone in the top 5 or top 10, that it's always going to work. I just think in this era of quarterbacks, you got to swing and miss and you have to move on quickly. What I would say and what I would contend is, what kind of team can you build in New York that can be successful? Because over the last 12 to 13 years, they haven't gone to the playoffs. There have been a bunch of different people that have tried to build a championship caliber team in New York. So asking both of you guys, what do you think are essential ingredients to being able to build a consistent winner in New York? Because it hasn't been done of late.
To me, it's you're drafting offensive linemen out the wazoo. It's hard to be a bad team with a great offensive line. And I don't think, Joe hasn't hit on all the offensive linemen he's picked. He's taken some swings. Got some solid guys in there. The Tyron Smith, I thought that, it was done. That was a resurrection project.
With this.
That wasn't going to work. You got a couple 33-year-old tackles. I think that was troublesome. But I think in the draft, I don't think you can draft enough of them. And I say that as someone who's calling Charger games and has seen a commitment to the offensive line. And obviously they have the quarterback. That's a huge part of it. But I just believe in that building philosophy of, we're just going to keep going back to that well each and every year. I saw it with the Ravens. I've seen it with the Philadelphia Eagles, teams I've been a part of. Buck, I'm sure the great teams you've been on, Super Bowl teams. It's hard to be. They're good in the trenches, man. And look, the defensive side of the ball, defensive linemen, they've loaded up. They've got a really, really talented defensive line. Jermaine Johnson comes back next year. You've got Quinnen Williams signed up long term. They've got dudes. Will McDonald has been awesome as an edge rusher. So, and now they've got Hassan Reddick in the building. So they're going to be really good on the defensive front. They need to hire the right coach. I think they need to go in a different direction at quarterback, and then just throw all of your assets, draft-wise, free agency, younger free agents, on the offensive line, Buck. I think that's how I look at it, Rhett. I don't know if you look at it any differently, but
I don't think there's another way to look at it. Like I really don't. And look, it's not to say that the Jets didn't take their swings up on the offensive line either, right? You mentioned it. I mean, Mekhi Becton obviously didn't work out, but started out hot, right? We've seen that before. And
he's playing pretty good with Jeff Stoutland.
Yeah.
I know he's kicked inside the guard, but
Elijah Vera-Tucker has been great when healthy. But he's been, he's missed a ton of games.
Tippmann's got some ability.
Tippmann's got some ability there. I mean, I think that's the place to go. Let's see what happens with Olu Fashanu. And moving forward, hopefully you can get something out of that pick. And maybe, it's not a complete, spend another 5 years trying to figure this thing out, but you continue to bolster up front, and then you make what position are you going to be in to go get? Are you going to try to go get one of the reclamation projects that we've been like the Sam Darnold-ish type quarterback?
Oh, we bring Sam Darnold back.
That ain't happening.
We bring Sam Darnold back to New York.
No. Oh, settle. No. I'm saying that type of quarterback, right? Like the Geno, right? The guy who's come back
on that one, man.
So Daniel Jones can move across.
Yeah, no, don't move. Just bring him on over.
Does anybody want to be in that market?
Perfect
quarterback.
Perfect segue here for you, Deech.
So that's we got to go back to like prolonged success. Eli Manning, the only one, in the last 30 years for either of those New York teams.
Nobody's been able to play.
Put him in the Hall of Fame
long term.
Yeah, I don't know. That's it's a good question. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like do you I haven't looked at Kirk Cousins' contract. You can try and squeeze a couple years out of him and they can move on with Penix. I don't know. I mean,
I have so many questions about the New York Jets because it's not only the quarterback, right? We're talking about reclamation projects. We have seen defensive coach, offensive coach in Adam Gase, defensive coach in Robert Saleh. Like what works in New York? Like, I don't know what works in New York because I don't have any blueprint to show me what exactly succeeds for the New York Jets. There's not a blueprint that shows long-term success outside of Bill Parcells. Like, what works? If Bill Belichick can't go there. You know what I mean? No,
right.
So that's what I'm saying.
That is
so
what team he will.
Like, so what works in New York? I have no idea what could work in that city and for that franchise.
I could almost argue, to me, the hire of the offensive line coach and the offensive coordinator are maybe as important as whatever they decide to do with the head coach. But they need to invest. We talk about investing in the offensive line. Spend whatever you got to spend. The good thing is, here's the bad news and the good news for Jets fans, and then we'll move on. The bad news is they have a glaring need at quarterback, and it doesn't look like a great quarterback class. That's the bad news. The good news is, if you're going to make a change at head coach, you want to do it in a year where there's a lot of openings, because what that does is that creates the pool of assistants that's much larger, and you have a chance to build a better staff, provided you can get it done early and provided you're willing to write checks to go get the best offensive line coach, defensive line coach, secondary coach. These are important roles, and you need to go top of the market and build the best staff that you possibly can. And we're looking at a year where, we're talking about 7 to 9 potential head coach changes. So there's going to be a lot of assistants in the pool.
lot of assistants in the pool and a lot of good head coaching candidates. Like, it's funny because I'm sitting here in my mind, I'm like, Mike Vrabel go to New York? Would Mike Vrabel go to New York and try and fix New York?
That brand of ball could work in New York.
Like, would he go to New York? Because he's one of the best coaches that we've seen. We've seen him do more
How
with less
is
in Tennessee.
well, I was going to mention another team, but they haven't made a change yet at their head coach, so I should probably not do that. But there's going to be other options, I think, for Mike Vrabel when it's all said and done.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'll be interesting. Again, Jets. The good news is whoever comes in there, you don't have the quarterback, but the good news is there are a lot of talented pieces there, a lot more so than there were 4 or 5 years ago. So they've got some guys to build around. Gosh, you got to find the quarterback. Speaking of quarterbacks, Rhett, lead us off on this one. Surprise level on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 2. Maybe that Daniel Jones is going to he's going to go to the sidelines. I think maybe the bigger surprise is who's going to replace him.
Yeah, it's Tommy DeVito and not Drew Lock. Remember the murmurs and the whispers that maybe Drew Lock could have a shot to start this season for the Giants.
I talked about that on here.
How he's playing exactly. So that part is a little surprising to me. But we're just trying to recapture the Tommy Cutlet magic. Tommy DeVito, and get that thing going, generate a little life for yourself. I get all that. I mean, it's clear, what's going on, with the financial commitment for injury that the Giants have with Daniel Jones, who is unfortunately
football only decision. It's a football only decision.
I find that hard to believe. I mean, look, the football hasn't worked either. So you can stand behind that all you want. But this, I guess, is just a happy accident then that they're going to be off the hook for the $23 million that would have been guaranteed if Daniel Jones got injured this year. So, no surprise, I think, based off the way things have gone. The surprise is how bad it's gone after year one to me. That's where the big surprise is.
There was promise.
Won a playoff game. They felt like they had a formula, right? The offensive line has never been right. It just has not been right since they were winning Super Bowls, since our buddy Sean O'Hara was there. That's what it felt like to me with New York. And I still don't know that Daniel Jones was put in a position to truly succeed there on a consistent basis. I think you go back to the ACL injury after the career year as part of, things weren't going well before that injury, obviously, but did it work? Could it work somewhere else? I think the biggest question for me moving forward is, could Daniel Jones see a resurgence somewhere else, like we've seen some of the, again, Sam Darnold type quarterbacks that have found success elsewhere with better play callers, better situations. But right now it's clearly not New York.
No, it's not New York. And I think there has to be a belief that in terms of your coach has to believe that you can get it done. We saw it the first year that Brian Daboll got there. They put Daniel Jones in a situation where they could do it. I think the Giants' biggest issue is understanding the kind of team that he needed around him. Daniel Jones needed a marquee running back like a Saquon Barkley to be able to do it. They gambled and taken Devin Singletary over Saquon Barkley, and it hasn't necessarily worked. They also have not been able to build the dominant offensive line that would help them be able to run the ball so Daniel Jones could play within his comfort zone, running, play action, RPOs, and all those things. To me, it's not just a Daniel Jones problem. I would say it is a construction problem in terms of how the team is built. We can swap out the quarterback and put Tommy Cutlass and other guys and draft one, but they are not going to be a consistent winner until they build the rest of the team right, and the team is not constructed right to help a young quarterback or any quarterback succeed.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in a previous episode. I'm interested to see where Daniel Jones goes, and I don't think that final chapter's been written yet for him. And maybe we're being optimistic, but I'm hopeful that he's going to get to the right place, and maybe there's more there than what we've seen. So, anyways, it's a little turmoil there in New York, I guess we could say, with the changes that have taken place this week for both the Jets and the Giants. That's a wrap for the lead block presented by T-Mobile for Business. Football needs a network willing to go the extra yard. So do you. Go further with T-Mobile for Business. Let's take a quick break. We come back. We will get into the rookie draft. God almighty, Rhett Lewis is on fire. We'll get into that right after this. Buck, we've got to stop this. I mean, we've got to stop it. What are we doing?
I don't know. The guy's over here, like he's smug. He has the look, man. He has all this confidence. He kind of feels like he has it wrapped up. Maybe we can finish, but maybe the playoff edition to give us an opportunity if we're not going to be able to pull it out in the regular season. But right now, this hasn't been great.
Man, alive. We got to change it. I'm changing up my draft philosophy today. This is a situation we find ourselves in where Rhett is sitting at 52 points. I'm at 42. That's a huge lead. Buck's just behind me at 38. But we've got to fix it. And guess what? Guess who has the first pick today? Mr. Lucky himself. Rhett is up first. I'm second. Bucky, you get the turn there with picks 3 and 4. Rhett, start us off here.
Yeah, I feel good about where I'm at, man. I actually thought I was going to have a chance late to make my my Bo Nix Devon Vele stack even at further points. Vele didn't quite get it done, but was close. But it's been fun to watch. By the way, as the rookie wideout there. So this is what we've got this week. We've got our choice of the quarterbacks, right? We could really get after it here with these guys. I mean, I am. It's actually a tougher one.
I mean, you're at the top of the board. What are we doing? We're doing like the NFL draft, like for drama.
I mean, we're gonna try to get you some drama here with this thing.
Give it to me.
I think a little bit. And, we've got Marvin Harrison back into the mix. He's not going to be the number 1 pick. The quarterbacks, though, it's interesting because you got a favorable matchup for Jaden Daniels. Bo Nix is my guy now. So Bo, I feel like I'm probably leaning towards taking here at number 1 overall. I feel like I'm probably going to do it, but I'm not doing it. I'm not. I'm going to take Brock Bowers. Because
You're going to go Brock Bowers.
I'm going to go Brock Bowers. He's been that good. So we're going Brock.
I love Brock Bowers, but I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to turn in the card for Jaden Daniels against the Cowboys, who may or may not have quit at this point in time. I'm going to go Jaden Daniels. Buck, you're up 3 and 4.
I feel like he's being so arrogant with all of this. Like, I'm going to take a tight end number 1. Tight end number 1 overall. Okay, so I'm going to take one of your guys. I'm going to take Lad McConkey.
No. That's what I was going to take. You're not allowed to take him.
Yeah.
Come on.
I got to get back to that. So I'm going to take Lad McConkey and I'm going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. back to back. Those are my 2 guys.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm going to go
Saucy Nugget. And take a little saucy nugget.
I'm just trying to think of a what sounds like a great country singer? Tommy Neighbors. That sounds like the name of a great country singer. It does
kind of sound a little bit like that.
And I want to enjoy Thanksgiving. I want to have a little skin in the game here on Thanksgiving. So give me Malik Neighbors with my pick.
Yeah. Thanksgiving's next week, right?
Oh crap! Are we not in Thanksgiving?
No, we're not. That's okay.
What? It's week 12.
Yeah.
Oh, my dates are all messed up. I'm getting ready as soon as we finish this to put up the Christmas decorations. How is this not Thanksgiving?
It's okay. It's okay. But they've got the neighbors has a favorable
Who are they playing? Who are the
Bucks.
Who are the
Bucks and Giants?
Oh, I thought we had Giants Cowboys. That's why I was getting really excited about that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a bummer. Not only because I was starting to crave some turkey, but also because that would have been a lot more favorable matchup for me. That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna go with Jaden Daniels and Neighbors. That's who I've got right there.
All right, you're gonna go Neighbors.
Opponents be darned. Who we got?
So give me Bo Nix. He's gonna be my quarterback once again. I get him. I was gonna take him at 1. I get him at 6. What a bargain. Like, what an absolute bargain against this Raiders team here. So I've got a lot of skin in that game. Nix and Bowers. And I'm actually considering going with my stack again with Devon Vele as being my next pick. But instead, I'm going to go with Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving's back. And Bucky Irving is going to be my selection at number 7 here to close out my draft.
Okay. Well,
all right. So I'm up. Am I up next here?
Yeah, 8. And then Bucky rounds it out.
So did Bucky already took Marvin, right? Took Marvin Harrison.
Marvin and
same team.
I'm gonna go coming off of a nice week with a couple clutch catches. Hold on. The Bears are the Bears are playing this week, correct?
Bears are in.
I'm gonna take a Dunze.
It's been a better choice. It's been a more favorable choice here as of late.
Yep. So I've got Buck, you've got your last pick, right?
Yeah, I got my last pick, and this is tough for me because normally you would take the number 1
You got
overall
your
pick in
QB.
this situation, Caleb Williams, but I'm not. I'm going to lean on a Tar Heel to bring me back, and I'm going to
wow.
Ooh, not on
Nice.
against the yeah,
No,
it's
man,
the
they play
Texans,
the
not
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Play the
We're all
Dolphins.
messed up here.
So it's really not Thanksgiving this week. Huh?
It's not, guys. It's not. You wanted some skin in the game on Thanksgiving.
Golly, I was looking
Yeah.
forward to just sitting down and watching.
Well, the best part about that whole conversation, DJ, is that your rationale for the Jaden Daniels pick was that he was going up against the Cowboys, and then somewhere in between your first pick
I got
and
lost.
your
in
second
there.
pick,
I got lost in there.
you got
I got
totally
lost in there.
screwed.
I had to make my picks. So I was looking at my where is it?
my God.
I was looking at the
Yeah.
games,
Oh my God.
and so
That's all
I
right.
had it there, but then I just wanted it to be Thanksgiving so bad.
I feel you.
And I remember I was talking to somebody on the phone yesterday, and they were just saying how terrible the Thanksgiving games are this year because of how bad some of these matchups are. But nonetheless, that'll wait a week. So that's it, right? We've got Bucky's got Drake May, Marvin Harrison, Ladd McConkey. I like your team, Buck. I think you're going to make some moves. Rhett comes back with Bowers, Nix, and who's your other one, Rhett?
Bucky Irving.
Oh yeah, Bucky Irving. Yep. And then I've got Jaden Daniels. I don't know who he's playing. I've got a Doomsday, no clue, and I've got Neighbors. Hopefully, he's still on the team.
A Doomsday taking on the Minnesota.
No wonder I'm not beating Rhett. Get focused, man. Good night.
Yeah.
That is terrible. All right, that's gonna do it for us today. Anything else
Sounds
you guys
good.
want to get into before we get out of here?
I think that's it. We got to win this week. Got to win this week.
No.
Yep. I'll tell you what hurts my heart is the fact that, I think we're all friends here, but nope, Bucky's blocking Rhett this week. Not even going to accept his calls or texts.
Down go the Bucks. Down go the Buckeyes, folks.
I love that.
I can just see it. I can just see it happening. I can see my
Friction.
phone just buzzing.
A lot of friction.
I won't be able to see it. I'll be watching Caleb Johnson try to run roughshod over the Maryland Terrapins down
there
in
you
College
go.
Park this week.
Oh, let's go Terps. Let's go Terps.
All right,
go get you some
Let's
crabs
go
down there.
Bucks. Yeah.
All right. That's going to do it for us. Appreciate you guys hanging with us. We will see you next time right here on Move This Stuff.